Coming up on today's Alabama Football Report, Peyton Woodyard has entered the transfer portal, the third spring guy to do so. It was a scholarship player. Elijah Pritchett got himself arrested again. An Ed Woods update, a player the Bama Crimson Tide have shown interest in for the portal, and some more transfer portal targets. Help keep your friends in the loop with all the chaos that happens these days in the spring in college football by sharing today's video for me right now. Peyton Woodyard has indeed entered the transfer portal on Monday afternoon. What is most noteworthy is he is hopping in the portal with the no contact tag, meaning you don't call me, I know where I'm going. And that means, once again, the behind-the-scenes backroom dealings, which sometimes benefit you, sometimes don't benefit you, have come across that way for the Crimson Tide, or at least a player formerly or was a Crimson Tide player. The report is out of On3 that Oregon has emerged as the leader for Peyton Woodyard, which is kind of interesting because Woodyard originally had flipped from Georgia to Alabama in this last recruiting cycle. Other programs like USC and Ohio State were initially viewed as contenders, but seems like the Ducks are the team to watch here. And this one does sting at least a little bit. I thought he had a chance to play in 2024 because there's just such little depth in the secondary, the safety room, and he would have had a really good chance to start in 2025, depending on how long Keon Sabb wants to hang around, depending on, this is going to be Malachi's more last year as well. So this does make 3 different transfers for Alabama. We'll revisit that here in a little bit. There was also a report that for Bama and from On3 on Bama, that for them, Woodyard entering wasn't a surprise. Now, it also says there's no connection to the Howard commit, which, okay, sure, maybe that wasn't the main reason, but let's not pretend. I don't think it's fair to pretend like it, wasn't like, okay, yeah, we're going to go down that path now for sure. I think it probably helped make the decision a little bit easier. And it's probably a little bit easier for Alabama to handle that one as well. So the spring transfers, the 3 that have happened so far, this is not some mass exodus. Excuse me. Eventually I'll say it right there. Mass exodus for Alabama, by the way. Khurtiss Perry, who was kind of buried on the defensive line depth chart, he's out. Undecided yet where he'll go. James Brockermeyer did commit to TCU, going back home there. That one probably hurts the most, I think. And Peyton Woodyard, again, Oregon is the favorite, but still undecided, technically speaking. So once again, that secondary room, you gain one, you lose one. What is your confidence level in Alabama's defensive back depth? Scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. Another arrest for Elijah Pritchett. He was arrested on Friday night. This didn't come out till Monday, Tuesday. For quote-unquote exhibition of speed. What allegedly happened here is police were at the Strip just off of the Alabama campus. Black Dodge Charger, no tags, driving erratically in front of a store corner. It was the one near University Boulevard and Campus Drive, by the way. As the police approach, the car speeds away recklessly fast, and then with a bunch of people on foot in the busy area, right? Police eventually catch up. They arrest him for the exhibition of speed, booked in jail, and released on a $300 bond for, allegedly, but being a dumbass. Like, he saw the cops, didn't like it, fled, got caught. Come on, what are you doing? It's just, this is the stuff that annoys me. Give me your one-word reaction to the arrest of Elijah Pritchett. One word only. Go ahead and sound off for me in the comment section with how you feel about the second arrest for Elijah Pritchett. My one word is, bruh. What are we doing out here? First, you got yourself arrested again, all allegedly charged with knowingly transmitting a sexual disease, which is, I think, even worse than this part here. But what are you doing? Why can't you just... the meme of the mom screaming at the kid, just be normal? Just be normal. I get it. You got the really cool black Dodge Challenger. You want to make it go real fast. just relax. Don't do it in a heavily crowded area. This is the kind of stuff that that has talented players drop in the draft, gets themselves suspended, gets themselves in the doghouse with the coaching staff because it's like, you know what? We can't trust you to just do the right things off the field. So I am hopeful, similar was the first time, it's a bit of a wake-up call. I don't want to see player got arrested, and for the third time, it's Elijah Pritchett. That would be a very, very bad thing for him and for the Crimson Tide. Now, today's show is made possible by our friends over at Fanatics. You can get customized jerseys of your favorite players or some alumni players, Bryce Young, Tua, Derrick Henry. I think they got some Julio Jones ones, and I know you're a big guy growing up there, Chris. That'll be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Chatsports.com/Alabama jersey. Again, that link in the comments and the description of today's show. Up to 30% off. All of them are. Might even get lucky and see one a little bit higher if you time it on the right day. Well, Ed Woods is not going to come to Alabama. He has committed to Michigan State over the Crimson Tide. So another transfer portal target off the list, as this is what things currently sit in the secondary. Knowing there probably can and will be some changes, some depth shuffling as well. It's an inexperienced group, and I got to be worried about it, right? You're banking on some young pieces, Howard, Hubbard, Sabb emerging at safety alongside Malachi Moore. Banking on Damani Jackson being a key piece transfer-wise. Devonta Smith staying healthy, emerging as a Husky option, or you're plugging somebody else in there. Maybe that does end up being Red Morgan. You're banking on a lot of, hey, we got young players who are talented and they emerge. And normally want to have like one or two of those guys, not like four of them ending up having to count big play time there. So some more players that I think we can look at here for the transfer portal. Now, first up is Texas cornerback Terrence Brooks. Of note, technically the SEC rules still state that you can't transfer in conference after the spring semester starts. So you can't do it in this window. I acknowledge that, and this is why it's probably unlikely. Is that enforceable, though, these days? And we've seen how many TROs granted, how many players suing the NCAA to prevent it from happening. I don't know if that's actually enforceable. So long shot name we'll put on here because of that. I would wonder if, and maybe all the SEC schools would collude and agree we're not going to do it, but I think it's still worth mentioning. Brooks was a 4-star recruit in 2022, 83rd overall, 14th ranked player from the state of Texas. Maybe in the end he just ends up going to a non-SEC school, but he's played a bunch of snaps, and his 775 snaps overall would rank pretty darn highly relative to other players on this Alabama roster. So the SEC angle does make it a big deal and makes it unlikely. Maybe they just will eventually stop enforcing that as a rule. Let's go to TCU. Stay in Texas here. Andre Selden Jr., he has entered the portal for a third time. Now, he began his career at Michigan, where there are ties to this current staff, by the way. Then goes to New Mexico State, then goes to TCU. So this, in general, fourth team in like 4 or 5, whatever it is, years, does tend to worry me a little bit there, especially when he actually never played for TCU, which again is concerning. He was decent, though, for New Mexico State. The completion percentage is the type of number you're looking for there. Little bit feast or famine, a little bit high on the yards there. But he does offer the thing that Alabama seems to be showing interest in, and that's position flex. He has his career snap counts, some in the box, kind of that strong safety role, some free safety reps, a lot of nickel corner reps, and a lot of outside corner reps. And I think maybe in general that Husky position is maybe something you could look to add some more impact there and gives you outside cornerback flex. You got the safety already on Monday. Maybe now you look for more of a corner on Tuesday and Wednesday. Bama has said they want versatile defensive backs. I think that Andre Seldon, if you trust whatever happened at TCU, fits that category and makes sense. Plus, it's not, maybe he's not expecting to be like a clear-cut starter, and the depth angle starts to fit a little bit more, and you're banking on veteran depth as opposed to totally unproven depth. So let's assume that the SEC rule goes away, which, maybe it doesn't. Pick a DB. TB for Terrence Brooks or AS for Andre Seldon Jr. We are snip-snapping our way here as South Alabama linebacker Khalil Jacobs has re-entered the transfer portal after initially testing it out back in January. Just when he thinks he's out, they pull him back in. Alabama is among these schools interested here because remember the first time he entered the portal, he was supposed to end up in Alabama. And then decides to go back, give the new staff a chance. He goes, no. Alabama, Auburn, Duke, Indiana, Missouri, NC State, also Tulane among the schools in the mix this time. And it seems like, at least to a certain extent, Jacobs is more likely to leave this time around. In fact, he is also set to take visits with a couple different schools. Auburn coming up today, Missouri on Thursday, and then saving the best for last in Alabama on Saturday. This is noteworthy, folks. So where does he end up committing? AUB for Auburn, Mizzou for Missouri, or Bama for Alabama? Go vote in the comment section right now. While you're down there, make sure you are subbed. I know it's getting to a little lull period between now and fall practice, but we've got you covered. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/@RollTideTV.